What it do? What it do? Mr. Top Flight TV. Mr. Top Flight Films. What's going on with the people, man? Y'all forgive me, man. Sometimes I just can't talk. I be burnt out sometimes. But anyway, we here, man. I hope everybody's doing good. You see the topic. Diddy went outside. Um, and Blackhawks in Chicago. We gonna talk about it. If you from Chicago, tap in, man. We need some information. But other than that, I'm gonna elaborate on what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, and this whole propaganda that's going on as far as this immigration. So let's start off with Diddy, man. I've been an advocate for Diddy, man. I've been pushing and rooting for Diddy. I've been hoping and wishing that he received justice in his case. Y'all know he was hit with a RICO. He was hit with some other trumped up charges. It's been a real injustice. I've been talking about it on my page for a long time. Uh, he did not even deserve to be arrested in the first place, in my opinion. You know, I don't condone him putting hands on Cassie or whatever he's done in his life. I don't condone that. But who the fuck is perfect? You dig? Everybody running around here acting like they perfect, like they never did nothing they weren't supposed to do in their life, or they not hanging with people, or don't associate with people that have done certain things. You dig? So anyway, my whole my whole thing is, you know, using the federal court to prosecute somebody on bogus charges is never something I want to co-sign. We've seen his court case go on for about a year and a half now. It's been a big media push. It's been a lot of slander. It's been a lot of fake news, a lot of rumors and gossip. Fast forward to October 3rd, he goes for sentencing. The federal courts gave him 50 months in prison. And I think that was excessive. I think he should have been let out at least on a bond. He went out sad. And this is my message for the day. This is my message. This is what I want all black people to listen to and hear, right? This is the point I want to drive home, because it really upset me to see the pictures from court of Diddy crying and cowering and not standing on 10 toes, right? That pissed me off. And my message is, if you've ever experienced injustice, right? And a lot of y'all gonna know what I'm talking about. If you've ever experienced racism, because that's what that is. What you see in that courtroom with P. Diddy, that's racism. You understand? That's just, it's clear cut. If you've ever experienced these things in your life, then you understand what it's like to be treated unfairly based on your skin, right? You know what that feeling is like when somebody's doing something to you that's unfair and they acting like it's for another reason, and they just giving you that look like, and there's nothing you can do about it. Can anybody identify with that? Number one, whatever. I grew up. I'm 44 years old, and I've experienced plenty of situations where I was treated unfairly, and I'm sitting there in disbelief. I'm sitting there traumatized. You understand? People say things like, why don't y'all stop talking about racism? I'm gonna speak for myself. Certain certain situations I've been in have traumatized me. From being a kid, from being a teenager, to being a grown man. You dig? Not so much today, but growing up, I've experienced some of the most vile racism that will traumatize you and fuck your head up. You understand? So that's why I know the reality of it. A lot of people can't pinpoint it. But Diddy stood in front of that judge, and the thing is with the judge, he was an East Indian, right? And this is one of the reasons why we delineate and we separate and we acknowledge our own lineage as foundational Black Americans. Because just because somebody has brown or black skin does not mean that they are our people, our kind. You understand? So an East Indian gave him 50 months. Any fair judge, and I'm gonna get to my message in a minute, any fair judge would have sent that man home. at least on a bail. And we can get into the particulars here in a minute because it's very easy to see that that man was done wrong. And I believe he'll be home on appeal. But my message for the day is Diddy went out sad because in the face of injustice, in the face of racism, you never, ever, ever, ever let them see you break. You understand? I don't care what is going on. I don't care if you get locked up for no reason. You never let these motherfuckers see you break. It's times that I've experienced, I just experienced, and I believe I'm experiencing a form of racism right now when it comes to business, all right? I believe right now, yesterday, 2 days ago, I've been going through some business and I'm overqualified for this business, right? And the owner, he just doesn't want to, he keeps putting me through hoops, right? Trying to get me to show my craft and show this and show that. And I'm like, and we've been going back and forth for a year or so now. And I'm like, hold. The thing is, I am not going to let him see me bend. I don't really care about the gig. I would like to have and be accepted and do work with this gentleman, but I will not bend, break, or fold. I will not beg none of these motherfuckers. I'm not begging nobody. And that's why I'm mad Diddy broke like that, because I don't care how much it hurts. I know it hurt his heart because his lawyers probably told him he was going home. I don't care how much this shit hurts. My message today is for all black men, black women. I don't care, whatever, whoever. Do not bend, break, or fold in the face of racism. You smile and you laugh at these motherfuckers. You smile and then you go cry in the cell, right? Okay, go to the cell and cry. Don't let these people see you break, man, because that's when they know they won. You understand? Diddy was done wrong. His whole case was an injustice. I know it hurt his heart when they said 50 months. That man could probably taste the tuna tartare. He could probably taste the filet mignon. He thought he was going home, so he psyched himself up. You understand? And then they hit him with that 50 months and it hurt his heart. I get it. I understand. But do not ever cry in front of these motherfuckers, man. Don't ever cry in front of these racists, man. You dig? You gotta take that shit on the chin, keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Let them know that you're a strong warrior and that you will succeed and you will win regardless. This little situation. Y'all hit the like button for me, man, if y'all feeling the content. I'm gonna get to the comments in a minute. Y'all hold tight, I'm gonna get to the comments. Hit the like button for me, please. So yeah, Diddy should not have broke down like that. The stenographer, I think that's what you call them, the people that draw, you dig? They have pictures, one of them is my thumbnail. He's like sprawled out on the goddamn bench, like the nigga laid down or some shit. Like, what are you doing? Diddy, come on, bro. Like 50 months, look, I get it. You're a billionaire, millionaire, multi-millionaire, whatever the case is, and you want what you want, and you want to go home. I get it. But to sprawl out on them chairs like that, man, it pissed me off, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. That's fine. Listen, LM3 says the race card got worn out. Let me tell you something, and that's fine. Listen, I don't expect racist people, right, or people that want to continue the system of white supremacy. I don't expect you to want to hear what I'm saying. That's not a problem. I understand. But this is the thing. The race card may be worn out, but racism is even more worn out. You understand? Make no mistake, racism has not went anywhere. Okay, it's alive and well. We're talking about P. Diddy going to jail for 50 months for buying prostitutes. There are lawyers all over the nation who are commenting, who are weighing in and saying, what the hell is going on? There are lawyers all online, respected lawyers saying, listen, this Mann Act, we've read 900 cases of the Mann Act, And we've seen people touch kids and get less time. So you can do all the race card, you're a victim. Yeah, we're fucking victims. You understand? That is what it is. You know, and the thing is, you know, certain people such as myself, man, you're always gonna hear this from us. As long as racism is here, we're gonna talk about it. Okay, I know a part of racism is for you all to deny it. A part of racism is for you all to tell us to be quiet about it. That's cool. Don't listen. You don't have to log in. You don't have to hop on the chat. You dig? I'm talking to my people today. You understand? You can kick rocks. I'm talking to my people. Never let these people see you, man, break a fold, man. This man was crying. This man was sprawled out on these chairs, man. I was highly disappointed. Go to the cell and cry, whatever you gotta do. But once you show these people, right? Once you show these people that they won, that they broke you, they gonna have the biggest smile on their face inside. You dig? Yeah, no problem. Cool dude says, how do you feel that the answer is to racism? To be honest, bro, racism will never go anywhere. This shit is ingrained in people. You understand? This is ingrained in the soil of America. You dig? The only way this shit can get cleared up, it's gonna have to be a whole nother generation to come along. Because the people we got here, as you see, the people in my chat, I'm simply telling a factual story about how a man is being treated with injustice. And they're telling me, stop talking about racism. That is practicing racism. They're practicing racism, you dig? So we too far gone. The psychological weapon that they implemented is too powerful, man. You dig? So it's never gonna go nowhere, man. Yeah, it's generationally learned. Cool dude. I told a story the other day. I was at the dinner table with my kids and my girl. My son is interracial. And he was like, man, I said, dog, why you don't hang with such and such no more? He was like, man, because dude, he keeps saying the N-word. Talking about his little white friend. He said, dude keeps saying the N-word. You know what I'm saying? He's 10 years old, man. So, you know, you could say somebody's pulling a race card, but you know what your father taught you. You know what your father was in that house saying, right? You know he was throwing that N-word around all the time, right? You know that. You know when you with your buddies, y'all be saying the N-word. Quiet as kept. Y'all know that. Cookie said, part of racism is you deny it. Man, you are good enough. Black, green, purple, whatever. You don't have to be a victim. Stop blaming others for your life. Who was blaming anybody for my life? See, that's another part of racism. You guys come over here and just say anything. You just make shit up. Okay? Tania Marie, shout out to you. Y'all hit the like button for me, man. Hit the like button for me. So yeah, man, Diddy, man, he should be home soon. You know, they're gonna get that appeal going. It should be very easy to get him out on appeal. You dig? Applejack said, how was he treated unfair? Well, let me tell you how he was treated unfair. See, a lot of people didn't do the research. They didn't follow the case. Diddy is behind bars in a federal holding cell. He's going to federal prison for buying prostitutes. That's why it's unfair. He tried to give them a $50 million bail package. He should have at least got bail, right? You know, that's not racist? No, I know. We already know. I know. Yeah. Okay, well, you gotta get up out of here. You just being way too disrespectful. I don't mind y'all trolling. And I don't mind people speaking their opinion, even if I don't like it. But you're not gonna come up here getting real disrespectful like that. We Can Fly Away said, you have Instagram. Yeah, go follow TOPFLYGHT_TV. Top Flight TV on Instagram. Okay, yeah. So, Diddy was, let me tell you, if we back up, if you go back to my old videos from last year, I told you the RICO charge that Diddy was hit with was unfair. That was not even a real thing. Like, they overcharged him, they made up charges, and they trumped up charges to put Diddy in jail. So the whole case was unfair treatment. The whole case was a joke, and that's why all the major serious charges got thrown out. They lost. It was a federal prosecutor got fired from the case right after he got found innocent. You dig? So um, go do your research. That's what I implore you to do. I implore you to go do your research. Go look up the case. You dig? Bar Light Broker said all of Biggie's music was stolen. He wasn't on trial. See, this is the thing, man. Whenever we touch on this topic, um, people talk about the artists that Diddy dealt with. People talk about Cassie getting beat up in the hallway on camera. He was not charged for none of that. All right, so when I speak, I'm talking about the case. And if you are an American, right, and if you say you're a patriot and you want uh, the law to work for you, then you want the law to work for everybody. All right, not you don't want somebody to go to prison just because you don't like them or just because they didn't give out the best deals. You understand? At the end of the day, we wouldn't know who Biggie was. We wouldn't know who um, Carl Thomas, Total, Black Rob, Craig Mack. We wouldn't know who these people are if it wasn't for Diddy. Diddy's kids are eating off of Biggie. Diddy's family. You know how many people Puff Daddy fed? He fed a lot of people. And a lot of people are customers, so they don't understand things from an entrepreneurial mind. So I understand. I'm not tripping. I understand how people think. People think like customers. You think like a worker. You know what I'm saying? So you're like, oh, you're rich. I should be rich. Oh, Diddy, you got all this money and you signed me. That means I should have the same money you have. That's how a customer thinks. You know what I'm saying? But people that know what's really going on knows that's not how it works. Just because that guy's a millionaire doesn't mean you're gonna be a millionaire. It's called a music business. It's certain business that goes on with this. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some more of these comments, man. Jay Lewis says, so you're condoning a man beating the crap out of another woman doesn't seem like you're much of a man. See, I don't know where you got that from. Um, I started off the video saying I don't condone that. But what I'm saying to you is, and if you're intelligent, you know that he wasn't on trial for that. You understand? He wasn't on trial for beating women. Okay? Wake up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, act like you know what's going on. Yeah, it's the legal system. These people are talking about what he did in 2013, and they talking about all this other shit. He's arrested. He's locked up right now for purchasing prostitutes. Him and Cassie. Cassie was a co-defendant. Cassie was not a victim. She was a co-defendant in this case. She received immunity. You understand? The women in this case received immunity because Cassie was calling the prostitutes, the sex workers. She was calling them. She wanted to freak off. And Diddy's locked up for it. Cassie got 30 million. You dig? It's the sun, baby. It's the sun. It's the sun. It's the sun. How that sun hit my face right now. You dig? Yeah, Cassie was a co-defendant. 50 Cent's baby mother was a co-defendant. And they received immunity because they should have been charged, and they probably were threatened to be charged. A lot of the sex workers are talking about suing Cassie, as they should. I hope they take all her money too. You dig? Now I'm not Muslim, homie. Um, Applejack said that's what white people do: pull black people's criminal records from years ago. Oh, it happens all the time, man. When we do something, uh, they go into our background and check out what we did in 1996, and they'll post that. I heard a woman talking about the guy Tyler who smoked Charlie Kirk. It was a woman defending Tyler, saying, hey, he was just a boy. He didn't know what he was doing. You know, black people would never get that grace. Do y'all know the dude that shot up the Mormon church the other day? Do y'all know that they raised $300,000 for his family? The Mormon church donated $300,000 to the guy's family that shot up the church. Do y'all know that? But no, there's no racism. There's no white supremacy, dog. We don't know what the hell we're talking about. Now imagine if it was that black dude that ran in there and did that. Would they raise 300,000 for his family? Of course not. We know the business. Yeah. Listen, we know. Listen, I know a lot of y'all are mad at Diddy. He's a successful black man. You wanted him to go down. You said you're mad at me for defending him. I get it. No shit. No shit. You know what I mean? Like y'all couldn't wait for Jay-Z to be next. Y'all like Jay-Z's next. You all want our greats to be arrested and slandered and took down. I know this for a fact. You dig? Jesse Holt said Trump is your daddy. Speaking of that, we're gonna move to the next topic. Blackhawks in Chicago. Do I have any Chicago people in here? I'm talking about Chicago people that are on ground zero that can tell us what's going on out there. Now, I want to touch on this topic about these Blackhawks. Apparently, I'm hearing stories that there were soldiers deploying from Blackhawks into this building, all right, to round up black people and this, that, and the third. We're going to talk about this shit because there's a narrative being put out here that black people are not safe in Chicago. And I want Chicago people to weigh in. I did a little bit of research on this, and I saw someone was right out front of the building, and they said that this shit wasn't about black folks. It was the building that they raided was overran with a Venezuelan gang. Okay. Yeah, Nas, I want to see the videos too. Yeah. SD said Diddy's success coming from the backs of his victims. That's crazy, bro. That's see, when you say shit like that, you just show that you're ignorance. Like you don't even know what you're really talking about. You dig? Yeah. So Chicago. From what I understand, the foundational black Americans in Chicago, they want the immigrants, the illegals out of there. You dig? They want the illegals up out of there. And that building that they raided, they said it was overran by a Venezuelan gang. And I believe it. I totally believe it. And people are trying to make this thing about foundational black Americans, and they like, well, we told y'all so. We told y'all they was coming to get y'all. And I'm like, well, the Democrats didn't really do anything to protect you. You know what I'm saying? All the black Democrats. Do I have any black Democrats in the chat? I want to talk to y'all for a minute. Scott Miller said there are plenty of gangs in Chi-Town. There are plenty of murderers in these small Caucasian towns. Look at the guy who smoked Charlie Kirk. You dig? Look at the guy who just smoked 5 police officers in rural Pennsylvania. You dig? Felicia Horn said that's right about what happened in Chicago. What exactly is right? Now, are they stopping black people? Are they harassing? I'm sure some black folks are really feeling the effect of it, but they're acting like they're arresting black folks and we're being deported. Listen, we cannot be deported. Foundational black Americans, we cannot be deported anywhere. You dig? We're the foundation of the country. There's nowhere to send us. And at the end of the day, if they ever tried to mass deport black folks, we'd tear this whole shit up. You dig? They know better. They know better. Nas says black outrage gets the most eyes, but zero aid. Every fight ain't our fight. When we suffer, they watch. I agree, my brother. I agree, and that's why I wanted to touch on this topic. This is the Democrats' fault, y'all. I don't understand why the Democratic Party is so upset, and they're telling us, look, y'all, we told y'all they was coming, but the reality is they wanted to flood all of these black towns with Democrats. You dig? They wanted to flood all these black cities. They're not bringing immigrants to white parts of the cities. I live in a predominantly white place. They're not flooding this place with immigrants. You dig? They're taking them to where black people are. So the Democrats can't, you can't be mad at what Trump is doing when you made the mess. They thought they was just gonna flood this whole shit. They thought they was gonna flood this whole shit with immigrants so they can get their voter base or whatever sneaky weird shit they trying to do. So they flooded the whole spot with illegal immigrants. And next thing you know, they mad because they getting kicked out. You should have never brought them over here in the first place. You dig? BA, so what? Be mad. Who cares what you're tired of? Who cares? We're tired of the racism. Who cares? You dig? So yeah, man. My thing is this, man. Like the Democrats, they're full of shit. The Republicans are full of shit too. You know what I'm saying? The Republicans are just flat out white supremacists. The Democrats, they are covert, sneaky white supremacists. You dig? So we don't get caught up in I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat. Beyond Pluto said, who's the #1 killer of black men? That's a great question. I'm gonna answer that. The #1 killer of black men is probably other black men. See, what is that? Who's the #1 killer of white men? Who's the #1 killer of white men? See, you thought you was really saying something right there. I'm gonna tell the truth. I know my community has an issue. I know my community has an issue. I know it's a bunch of YNs out here that are priding themselves on taking other black people's lives. I know this, okay? But they are victims of white supremacy. Let's be real. I don't care if you like it or not. And this is where Charlie Kirk went wrong. All he could do was point out, all black people this, black people that. But he never told y'all why these young boys is like the way they are. He never told them. He never ever told the people why the killing is happening. He never told the people why these ghettos are the way they are. He wanted to hide that fact. He didn't want to acknowledge white supremacy. He didn't want to acknowledge the past. You dig? I just gave you accountability. The thing is, and what I'm curious about is why are you all so worried about to the guys in the chat, listen, so everybody telling me I'm not a victim and this, that, and the third, cool, no problem. I want to ask y'all a question. Man to man. Be a man, stop trolling for a second and just be a man. Why are you all so aroused? Why are you so aroused by black folks? Why are you so turned on by Chicago? Y'all are so intrigued and turned on by Chicago. You guys fantasize about what goes on in fucking Chicago. Let me tell y'all something. You guys sound like victims. Because you guys in my chat, the racist motherfuckers in my chat that's always talking about Chicago, you as an American, you haven't pulled up to Chicago and did jack shit about it. Because you're a coward. Y'all are really cowards. You type on these keyboards. You're not a real American. If you really thought Chicago was that bad, why haven't you pulled up and done something about it? Why haven't you pulled up and done something about it? I want to see these comments. I want to know. Daniel Gonzalez says Chicago is a dumpster fire. Say what it is. TV says they can't. Yeah, they can't. They're gonna sit in their rural little town where most of them are getting food stamps and welfare, right? Where they are smoking meth and molesting their kids. They're gonna sit around there, act like Chicago's the problem, okay? While deflecting from the real problem, right? Now, we gotta go back to Charlie Kirk. And somebody asked me the other day, how long are we gonna talk about Charlie Kirk? We're gonna talk about Charlie Kirk as long as we need to. Charlie Kirk was saying the same shit these people in my chat are saying. His last words of his fucking life were about to throw black people underneath the bus. They were so aroused and so intrigued and turned on. They so turned on by black folks, right? Charlie Kirk got smoked by a white man. You dig? And they still talking about Chicago. Chicago didn't kill your man. You dig? Memphis didn't kill your man. He was unalived in Utah. You understand? By a Caucasian man. What is going on with y'all? What is up with that, man? At least the gangbangers have an excuse. Listen close. They try to equate gangbanging, okay, and so-called black on black crime. But at least they have a fucking excuse. The US government dropped tons of crack cocaine in their goddamn neighborhood, right? At least they have some sort of excuse. What is the excuse for these little weird people, right? These little weird racist white supremacists that are running in movie theaters, unaliving people that they've never saw in their life. What is his excuse? Why don't y'all ever want to talk about that? What about people like Timothy McVeigh? What about people like the Unabomber? What is their excuse? See, the shit that happens in Chicago, it has nothing on what the white supremacists have done in this country and what they're doing in this country. Chicago looks like a playground compared to these mass shooters and these school shooters. See, at least us, right? At least us, listen, at least us, we don't walk into the local elementary school, right, and have target practice. At least we don't do that. We're not that fucking degenerate, okay? The shit that we're seeing coming from these races is the most degenerate, low vibrational shit that we've ever seen. You understand? So instead of looking and worrying about what's going on in our house that has really no effect on you, you should be worried about what's going on in your neighborhood and your community, because it could be your son's school next. And it won't be by the hands of us. You understand? You got that? Let's get to some more of these comments. Somebody said, I need Jesus. No, you need Jesus. You dig? The racist community needs Jesus. That's what y'all need. Not the fake Jesus that y'all acting like y'all pray to now that Charlie Kirk is gone. When Charlie Kirk got smoked, when they turned his TV off, right? When they turned Charlie's TV off, the whole world started acting like they Christians again. You dig? Like, please. Like, who you trying to fool? You're not fooling nobody. Okay? You're not fooling nobody. Yeah. Again, when there's violence in our community, it's normally over some gang shit, or some drug shit, some money shit, some turf shit, some girl stuff. It's not random people getting unalived for no damn reason. Crime is not going anywhere. Crime is always going to be crime. There's always going to be crime on this earth. The type of crime that your community is committing is unacceptable. The type of crime that your community is committing on a weekly basis, it's not even crime, it's domestic terrorism. It's domestic terrorism. How dare you talk about Chicago? Listen, don't be such a narcissist, right? That all you can do is deflect to Chicago when every damn week it's a mass shooter. Every damn week. And let's be real clear. When this shit hits the fan, it's not gonna be because of Chicago. When it's not even a matter of if. It's not even a matter of if. America is falling. It's not even a matter of if. When this shit falls, do not blame it on Chicago. You got these fools in the White House on both aisles, both sides of the aisles. These people are so greedy, hateful, and petty, they can't even get it together. They're about to sink the whole ship. Do not blame Chicago. You dig? I know you don't like what I'm saying, Cameron, but it's the goddamn truth, whether you want to admit it or not. You understand? You got the president, and I fuck with Trump. I kind of fuck with Trump. But dude is slipping. Trump is slipping. Like, listen, a great leader knows that you have to have some sort of calm, some sort of peace, some sort of allegiance. Right now, the separation in our country with this left and right stuff, it is absolutely, um, it is absolutely out of this world. It's so low vibrational. The president is so low vibrational. You dig? Like they posting videos on his website and on Twitter. They posting these funny videos making fun of each other. Like this is where y'all at. Y'all so desperate. The desperation is so real right now amongst the racist community. You got people out in the street talking about fight back, white man, fight back. They're threatening HBCUs. They trying to walk up on HBCUs and have debates. Like the desperation is so real. How about you go focus on Tyler and the other people who are doing these crazy mass shootings? Why don't you focus on them? They're having memorials, right, with fireworks. They're bringing out their best white supremacists. Stephen Miller, they're bringing out their best and brightest white supremacists to come out and have these corny ass speeches about them being the light and everybody and us being the dark. We built fucking Athens. We are the goddamn what is it? What are they? Aryan. We are the Aryan kings and gods. Please, man. Please. Get the fuck out of here. Let me tell you something. America would not have been built if it was not for foundational black Americans. You understand that? America would not be built. Even your man Donald Trump said it. That's why I fuck with Trump a little bit. He told y'all black Americans built this country. You dig? And it's time that we get what is owed to us. We're not going to be second-class citizens. You understand? These little rallies aren't scaring anybody. We're not scared. You can't get rid of us. If they could have got rid of us, they would have got rid of us 200 years ago. We're not going nowhere. You dig? Yeah, all you can do is cope in my chat. That's all you can do today. I'm turned up today, man. I will hit the gym. I got an energy drink in me. I'm turned all the way up. All you can do is cope. That's all you can do. Because you know all this shit is facts, man. Before they brought slaves over here, before they rounded up the slaves that were already here, the black people that were already here, they were building colonies that they couldn't even build colonies. They were failing. They were eating each other. It was cannibalism going on. These degenerate ass forefathers, they had to give Indians blankets full of smallpox. They were so low vibrational. They said, hey, the Indians fed they dirty asses. Fed them. Come on over. You want some corn? Y'all want to have a feast? Come on. And guess what they got in return? They gave them dirty ass blankets full of smallpox and wiped a whole bunch of people out. I'm talking about, how dare you talk about Chicago? How dare you? Come on, man. The game is over. All my foundational black Americans in this chat, I want anybody who wants justice. This is not a pro-black channel. Anybody who wants justice, man, don't let these people fool you, man. Don't let them fool you. You dig? Because they're going to try to run that Jedi mind trick. That's what it is. It's a Jedi mind trick. What's up, y'all? Let's get to some of these comments, man. 925er says, nope. No, not nope. Cope. Cope. It's just a whole lot of cope in this chat. That's all. It's about justice, man. Let me see. BMG said, black Americans don't have excuses for our situation. Our people have historical explanations why our situation is the way it is currently. I love the way you frame that. I love it. That's beautiful. What's up, baby dog? Let me kiss you. Love you. Mwah. I love that right there. I got to read that again. BMG said, I want y'all, everybody in the chat that's coping, I want y'all to hear this real quick. My man BMG said, Black Americans don't have excuses for our situation. Our people have historical explanations why our situation is the way it is currently. Man, real deal historical explanations. And the thing is, they're trying to erase these historical explanations. They're desperate. They're running around trying to clean up these Smithsonians. They're literally running through. Come on, grab that. Put that in the shredder. Get this out of here. We're going to hide all this shit. They're trying to hide their shame, man. You dig? Y'all hit the subscribe button, man. Hit the like button for a player, man. We on fire today, man. All the trolls getting up out of here, too. They leaving. They don't like this, man. They don't like this. Pignorance says, what's happening in Chicago? Pignorance, what's happening in Chicago, if you haven't heard, if you haven't done any research, they're doing ice raids, okay? And we're just chopping it up about the particular building that was raided. They said it was blackhawks. I'm trying to find out more information. Does anybody know? Is anybody here from Chicago? We got Hunter Biden in the chat. Snake Jake, you're mad. You're coping. It's gonna be all right, bro. Corey E said, and ICE is definitely not touching us. Shout out to you, Corey E. I take it you're in Chicago. I saw a clip of a brother. He had dreads. He was an ICE agent. He had a rifle. It was a Latino guy that got in his face. And the Latino guy got all up in his face, right? And then the brother, the ICE agent, had to rough him up. And people was like, why did he do that? Like, dog, why are you in this man's face? I take it that they think because he's a brother that they can just get up in his face like that. We don't owe nobody shit, y'all. We don't owe nobody shit. We don't owe no other group nothing. You understand? Because a lot of these other groups don't fuck with us. You dig? Snake Jake called me a clown. I know you're upset, brother. I know you're upset. It's okay, man. It's gonna be all right. Listen, the truth hurts, but it'll set you free. You understand? Snake Jake says, we don't want ish from you. Yes, you do. That's because that's why you always talking about us. That's why it's always talking about Chicago, always talking about what we got going on. You're never talking about you. When are you gonna start talking about you? That's what I wanna know. Snake Jake said, I got mine. You still trying to find anything to grasp onto because you a client. I don't even know what that means, man. Say something intelligent, man. You dig? Yeah. Snake Jake says, I don't talk about you. I flick through this feed and then I see your big ass head talking about. Well, you're here, brother, and you're clearly upset. Listen, I wanna help you, man. You're clearly upset. All right, what I want you to do is I want you to just understand that it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon, okay? I want you to go and get your meth pipe, all right? Go get your meth pipe, take a couple tokes, all right? Go down to the local watering hole, all right? Play some pool and some darts, and go on home and get you some rest, man. It's gonna be all right, man. I promise you. I promise you. Nate Doggy said, why are blacks focusing on 100 years past and never focusing on their future and wonder why the future doesn't get better? Listen, let me tell you something. My future is great, it's beautiful, it's promising. I live a great life, man. You're missing the point. See, you guys want us to stop talking about the past because you're ashamed. Shame. And the thing is, we're not trying to make you feel ashamed. You understand? We're not trying to guilt you into what your ancestors did. But the problem is, every time we are voicing our opinion, every time we're having these conversations, you come in here and you try to take up for your forefathers. You try to stop us from talking about racism. You try to stop us from talking about the issues that we talking about. So you end up catching some of this heat because you sound like a racist. Anybody that wants justice has no problem with us talking about what happened 100 years ago. Y'all still celebrate 4th of July. That was how many years ago? You all still talk about 9/11. How many years ago was that? So you mean to tell us we can only talk about the happy times? We can't talk about the bad times? It's history. These are historical facts. The white supremacist ancestors were degenerate, low vibrational scumbags. We're always going to talk about that. We're going to tell each generation just so they know. Okay? You got that? Matt Q said they mad we ain't brainwashed like them. Yeah, we're not brainwashed like them or none of the other raccoons running around here. See, they love to see a black face agreeing with them, licking boots, right? But when the real ones show up, they don't like that shit, man. They hate that. They want to put a Candace Owens or a Officer Tatum, a Jesse Lee Peterson, a Myron Gaines. They love. I bet you they agree with Myron Gaines. But guess what? We the real deal, man. We are the real fucking deal. Foundational Black Americans. We will never forget, and we'll never shut up, and we'll never stop fighting. You understand? I don't need to talk about the Barbary Coast. I'm not from the Barbary Coast. My family built this shit. You understand? Oprah said, we are in Chicago, in these streets. Only the strong survive. All nations, races know the truth. This folks is scared of their sins, and there are no secrets. Durka said, I agree with Malcolm X, and you hate Malcolm X. I don't even understand what that means. Say what it is. TV said, what you think about the brother from Burkina Faso, President Troy? Shout out to him, man. From what I understand, I haven't done too much research, but I see he's a strong brother, and he's doing what he's supposed to do. You dig? Shout out to him. Gary said, quit crying over something that didn't happen to you. Let me tell you something. Every time y'all say something that didn't happen, listen, I have been getting hit from the shrapnel of racism all my life. Okay? This is nothing I need to explain to anybody. I can't even begin to tell you the racism I've experienced in my 44 years. You understand? Don't tell me nothing about what the fuck I've experienced and what I haven't. You dig? Prince Alex says, we are our ancestors. Absolutely. We are our ancestors. My mother was like, man, look here, man, why you keep talking about this shit? See, my mother's older, you know what I'm saying? So she like, why, you know, a lot of the older black folks, they done kind of, you know, chilled out. But, you know, I'm like, Ma, look here, the ancestors are talking through me. You dig? I got the spirit of the ancestors in me. And that's why we continue to speak for them. You understand? PH said, it's refreshing seeing a comrade, tired of the raccoons. Shout out to you. Shout out for the super chat. Yeah, it's too many. Listen, being a raccoon is big business nowadays. You dig? Like, look at Myron Gaines, for instance. He is a prime example of what your life could look like if you just tear down other black folks. And he's not really black. He's from the Sudan. He's like, you know, he's not like us. You dig? But he's a prime example. Now, I could sit here in as many races that show up in my chat, I can make a lot of money off denigrating my people. Because for some reason, all the races flock to my chat. You dig? I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the algorithm. I don't know how they get here. But you know how much money I can make if I sat here and threw my people underneath the bus? Never, man. No dollar amount will make me do that. Stilo said, why do we keep celebrating 4th of July? That was a long time ago, too. Yeah, these people pick and choose what part of the past that we can talk about. Wolverine said, why is Africa still a third world most place to live? I don't know. Talk to Africans. I'm an American, sir. I'm actually a foundational black American. You dig? Where's your family from, Wolverine Bear? When did they arrive to my homeland? When did they get here? Where are you from? Ireland? Where are you from? Some of my people were indigenous to this land. You understand that? Mickey Mack, what it do, homie? Sin21 says, where does the word slave come from? From what I understand, it's Slavic. Slavic, the Slavic people. That's where the word slaves comes from. Slave comes from. But who cares? Crow said, give an example of racism against you. Exactly. You've never experienced it. He didn't even give me a chance to even say, bro, let me tell you something. I can give you, I will be here all day. I will be here all day giving you examples of racism. I'm talking about from being in restaurants, not being served, waiting an hour to be served. You see this right here? The police did that shit to me, right there. You see that shit? I was hit in the face with a police baton while I was in handcuffs in the police station. Let me give you a quick story, man. One time we got pulled over, me and my homies, right? We got pulled over. They put me and my little homie, they put our chin on the back of a Jeep Cherokee. Made us put our hands on their head, put our chin on the back of a Jeep Cherokee. They took my other little man behind us and they beat the shit out of him. We couldn't even turn around. I'm talking about they beat my man so bad. I've never been so terrified in my life because I thought I was next. Listen, don't talk to me about, see, you're in your little bubble, right? You're in your little bubble and you've never experienced this shit. I got stories for days, man. You dig? Tandy said, shout out to you, Tandy. She said, I was talking to those who are close to the ancestors and they get up in the morning and do orishas and read the Bible and praise the Lord. And they were very close to the ancestors. Yeah, I believe that is a real thing. I believe, listen, I live a great life, man. Again, I can make a lot of money off of denigrating my people, but it's something in me that wakes me up every day. And I have this on my heart, you understand? And I believe I was sent here to continue to speak for my ancestors, you dig? And again, this is not a pro-black channel. This is just a pro-justice channel, you dig? Nate Doggy said, talk about the white indentured servants in America. You just talked about them. Key word, indentured servants. That was nothing. They were indentured servants for like 7 years. Then they got their right to be white and they started oppressing black people. They came over here, listen, they came over here because they heard about the perks. They heard about the great things that were happening over here on this land. They said, I want some of that action. Oh, y'all got niggas working for y'all for free? Oh, we on our way. Don't give me the whole Irish, don't give me that shit. They heard, right? They heard that it was sweet over here. They heard they got some brown and black people over here working for free, and they wanted a piece of the pie. You understand? Don't let nobody hit you with that BS. See, we don't do that over here, man. All those little bullshit talking points don't work over here. Chris Davis says, so who you blaming? White man didn't invade Africa. Shout out for the super chat. Now, first and foremost, the white man did invade Africa, idiot. Okay? Yes, they invaded the whole world. The whole world was invaded by the white man. Yes, it was. Do you know your history, sir? The only place that wasn't really invaded or tampered with by the white man, what's that island called? They will execute you if you go over there. What is that island called, y'all? I forgot the name of that island, man. What is that island called? You cannot go over there because they know what happens when the racist white supremacists get over there. North Sentinel Island. North Sentinel Island is probably the only place on the world that hasn't been tampered with by white supremacists. North Sentinel Island, absolutely. Thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. But listen, I'll be back tomorrow, man. I got shit to do. I'm about to wax the Jeep. I'm about to finish this. I got food in the crock pot, and I got some videos to edit. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Y'all go follow the Instagram, Top Flight TV. You dig? I'll be back tomorrow, maybe. with another topic. We can chop it up. If you want to jump on the live stream with me, put your email in the comments. I will send you a link for tomorrow. I'll probably go on at like 10, 11, somewhere around there. All right? Appreciate y'all. We out of here.